Hi guys, it's Mike back with another tutorial, and today we're going to be showing you how to use automation in FL Studio. So we're going to show you three things. We're going to show you how to automate the mixer, so how you can change volumes. We're going to show you how to automate effects parameters on FL Studio stock effects, and then we're also going to show you how to automate any parameter on any third-party VST. So the video is going to be broken down into those three sections, but if you'd like to see that, just skip ahead to this time, because I've got just a few things to say first. So firstly is that Brad and I have just released our next original song called Craving You, and that's available on Hybrid. It's available on Spotify and YouTube, and it sounds a little bit like this.
From deep within my bones, I write you a pretty melody, and I know, I'll be craving you. I'll be craving you.
And besides supporting us on Patreon, listening to that music on Spotify is the very best way that you can support us and allow us to keep making these tutorials for free for you guys. So let's just get straight into this tutorial. The first thing we're going to do is show you how to automate the mixer. So in this case it could be a volume or a pan dial, and we want to change this without having to move it manually each time. So I'm going to solo one of my instruments in this song. This is Craving You, our latest single. And you can see that the volume just drops off at the end, and this automation clip is controlling this. So how do you make this? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is simply delete the automation clip that was there, just so that I'm at the same stage that you guys are. All you have to do is find the fader, you right click on it and select Create Automation Clip. And that will drop an automation clip into your project. So just put it where you want. In this case, I've inserted a new track underneath the instrument. I simply right clicked and inserted one. I give it a name like volume. And then all you have to do is click and drag these points until they do what you want. So there's lots of different types of points you can make. If you right click anywhere on this line, it will create points, and then you can drag them. And then you can also change the type of point. So if you want a very sharp and precise point, you can use a hold point, which will cut the volume very quickly, like this. You can use curves, like this, and drag and drop the points. And you can also use all sorts of strange pulse functions and change these and just make some really strange effects. For instance, this is just pulse the volume up and down. You wouldn't necessarily want to do that, but all of these options are available to you. Once you create your automation points, you can actually double click on it, and there's some options for smoothing these points out. So you can smooth up all the edges, and in this case you can see you can choose the release and the attack, and you can make all of these points really smooth. So if I accept that and I zoom in, it's just smoothed all of these automations. So if you watch what the fader does, it just smooths a little bit more smoothly, a little bit more organically. So that's how you create an automation clip for a fader in FL Studio. And it's the same process is used for if you wanted to automate pan. You'd simply right click and create automation clip, and then just watch what it's doing as you move the points so that you know what it's doing and you can stay on top of it. The next thing we're going to do is change the amount of reverb on one of the other instruments. So in this case, I'm just going to solo out some bells in this project that sound like this. And I've decided that I want to add more reverb to them, and I want to be able to control the wet level of this reverb. So the first thing I'm going to do is insert a new track. So I'm just going to right click here and press I to insert a track. So I've just called it reverb and given it a color. I'm going to select the region that I want the automation clip to be added to. So if I right click this red looping region, that allows me to select the area I want the automation clip to be dragged into. So now I'm going to click on the reverb I've got. I just add a new one, just insert Fruity Reverb 2, just like that. And I'm going to turn it on. And I've decided that what I want it to do is add more reverb to the end of the phrase. So if you listen here, I'm just going to increase this wet level as the sound plays out. And I've decided that that's sort of the effect I want to go for. So there's a few ways to do this. You can either just right click and create automation clip, which will just drop in the reverb wet level, and then you can simply draw the shapes you like. So in this case, I'm trying to just copy what I did. Just like that. Or you have the option of actually recording in the automation. So I'm just going to quickly delete the automation clip that I've created. So I'm just going to delete it from there. I'm going to go into the patterns, initialized controls, and it's going to be reverb wet level. I'm just going to delete that, and this will allow me to record this new automation in. So I'm going to press record up here, notes and automation. I'm going to press play. Just going to increase it slowly. Back down. And you can see that if I play it out now and watch the wet level, it just increases in the same way that I did. But I prefer to use the automation clips because it tends to give me more control and I can more easily edit the events that I've played in. So on to part 3, and this is automating a parameter in a third-party plugin. So this could be a VST instrument or an effect. And in this case, I'm just going to go to one of the instruments. I'm going to go to my Instruments tab. There's this synth that I've called Growl. And what I'd like to do is control this filter. And you'll hear what it does. And I've decided that I want to be able to control that in time so that the growl doesn't just do this. I want it to open up and close in time, but if I simply right click on it, there's no option for create automation clip. So what you have to do to get around this is you have to move the dial that you want to control, and then you have to go up to the top toolbar here and you select Tools. Then you go on to Last Tweaked and you click Create Automation Clip. So that again, what you do is you select the parameter that you want to create an automation clip for, just like this. You move it a little bit. You go to Tools, Last Tweaked, Create Automation Clip. And then you can see Growl, Macro 2 amount, and then it's given it a strange name. So I'm just going to drag that underneath my instrument. I'm going to expand these channels and close this up. I'm just going to give it a name. I'm going to call it filter because that's what it is. It's just opening up a filter. You could do this with a stock FL Studio plugin. And then I'm going to simply draw in the points that I want. So looking at the MIDI above, I'm just going to try and make this correspond with the notes. So the first one I want to just fall off. Next one. Just like that. And you can see that if I go back into the plugin again, go into the instruments, go into Growl, and you should be able to see that this moves with it. Apologies for any clipping there, but that's pretty much how you do that. So that covers the automation of stock FL Studio plugins, the automation of the effects, and the automation of third-party VST plugins. We will be doing a full mixing and mastering tutorial for this song, Craving You, and you can see that there's an awful lot of automation clips in this project, and we'll be showing you what all of these do, and also showing you some advanced EQ techniques, which we applied to this song. So the next tutorial will probably be an advanced EQ technique tutorial, but also looking at how we created this song, and we'll of course be doing a full mixing and mastering breakdown for this song as well. So thank you very much for watching this video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.
'Cause when it's just me alone, my thoughts to keep me company.